Hi guys, welcome here. Do you ever have those days where you feel like it is just time? It's springtime, things are starting to change, freshen up, new things are starting to grow outside. The earth is just like waking up after winter. Things are starting to look new and fresh again and alive again. And do you get that feeling to just start going through your house and cleaning and getting rid of things that you don't need anymore, and just kind of redoing stuff and making everything nice and fresh and new again? I know I have definitely been feeling that way, but it's a struggle. It's a big struggle for me because I think I'm just like an all or nothing type of a person. It's really hard for me to do anything just part way. So I've been taking this time to really remember some of the things that I've learned over the years, get some spring cleaning done, but use these tips that I'm going to share with you. As a mom of 5 young kids, I find that it's very rare for me to have any long amounts of time to dedicate towards getting any one thing done. And whenever I do have a pretty decent pocket of time, I always have this struggle because I want to start something, but I just know that I'm not going to be able to work on it for as long as I want to. There's interruptions, stopping and starting pretty much throughout the day, many times through everything that I need to do. And it's fine. It's good. I love this season of life that I'm in. It's intense, but I do love it so much. But when it comes to this time of year and you just get really eager to get some cleaning done and to get some projects done and to freshen everything up and just kind of go with that spring newness, it can be extra challenging. I know that for me personally, I tend to be a little bit unrealistic about goals that I set for myself as far as what I can clean, what I can do, what I can accomplish. And so I've found some tips that through the years that have really helped me be able to still accomplish spring cleaning, still get things clean and organized and new, but to be realistic and in a way that still leaves me feeling good about what I've done and not stressed. One of the key tips that I have really found helpful is to really try to be realistic about planning what I'm going to accomplish. And what this looks like for me is really paring things down and being willing to let a few things go. And instead of trying to do everything, focus on the things that matter the most. So when this comes to this time of year, where I really want to just get very busy at organizing and decluttering and freshening everything up and cleaning and getting everything nice and new for the new year and new season, I have to really take a look at what spaces matter to me the most and tell myself I'm going to focus on those. Now, this can be, for me, the places rather in the house where I spend the most time, so I can focus on those. It can be the spaces in the house that matter the most to me when they're clean, because some really do matter more than others. Obviously, bathrooms are a big one to always keep on top of year-round, but when it comes to deep cleaning, those are high up on my list to make sure that they get some special attention. The kitchen obviously is one of my favorite places to be. I spend a lot of time here. I love being in the kitchen. And so if you saw my kitchen closing routine, I talk about how even at the end of every day, there's certain things that I always do because it's such an important space. And then there's also the idea of what spaces make me feel the best when they are the cleanest compared to other places. Again, bathrooms, big difference there, so definitely those are high up on my list. Kitchen, again, super important. And so when I'm planning out things and I don't know how much time I'm going to be able to actually spend at anything, I make sure to tackle those first. And then I know that if life happens, things get in the way, kids' needs take up more of my time than I thought they were going to, that's okay. Those needs have to come first. And that way I know that my essential areas are taken care of. And then if I don't get to some things this year, that's okay. I can just choose to not stress about it, let it go, and know that the most important things did get done, and that later on in a different season of life that's probably going to show up sooner than I even realize at this point, I'll be able to spend more time on those things and it will be okay. And I just can let it go for now and just live in the present, knowing that I'm focusing on the things that are the most important right now. So that has been hugely helpful for me to just keep those things in mind as I'm deciding what to prioritize for kind of my seasonal spring cleaning and tackling list, as well as just giving myself grace and not being overwhelmed or thinking like I'm not doing enough. I am doing my best with the time and resources that I have right now. Another thing that comes up for me personally around trying to accomplish things and keep up with things, especially during times of the year like this where you just really want to get things accomplished, is like I talked about in the beginning, being kind of extreme about things to where I feel like I either want to do things all the way, or if I know that I'm not going to be able to do it as long as I want, as thoroughly as I want, as well as I want, then I get tempted to just be like, I don't even want to bother with it. And so that's not good either, because then certain things just don't get done at all because it's just for the reason that I know that I'm not going to be able to get to it as thoroughly and as long as I want to. So there are two things that have really helped me surrounding this whole idea, and those are number one, timers. So setting a timer. It is amazing what you can accomplish in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, a lot more than I usually think when I start going into it. So what I can do is I will just either set a timer or I just keep an eye on the clock and I'll just be like, okay, all I'm giving myself is 5 minutes to do this. I know it's not going to be as thorough and as perfect as I want it to be, but that's okay. I'm going to be just doing my best with the time that I have. 5 minutes is all I'm giving myself to do this. And then so I'll get started, I'll get going, and I'll just kind of keep track of my time and I'll pace myself in a way that fits the time that I have for the job. And then I'm always surprised. I'm like, that really wasn't so bad. I didn't need to go crazy being extra perfectionist, extreme about it. And then it was a really nice balance because I didn't spend too much time at it. I just fit into my day. And yes, of course, there are things that you let go when you do this because you're not spending as much time as deep down you want to. Maybe it's not getting done as thoroughly as you want to, but it's a whole lot better than not doing it at all. So I always feel like that's a huge win. Another closely related tip to that one is, rather than setting a timer, there's little pockets in your day that kind of have built-in timers. So this can be, I'm waiting for something to finish up in the oven and it's got 10 minutes to go or 12 minutes to go or something. I look around, okay, maybe I can clean out like one little section of the refrigerator while I wait. Or maybe I can quick put away these clean dishes while I wait. So something that otherwise I'd be like, I don't really want to do that right now because if I get started, I want to do everything and I know I don't have time for that, and then, so on and so on. Instead, it's just like you have this little bit of time, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you've got, until your thing comes out of the oven. Just pick a little job, put limits around it for yourself if you're like me and tend to be too extreme, and then just get that done within that time. It's such a good feeling, and it's more relaxing. So I don't know, I found that really, really helpful. Let me know in the comments, what kind of a person are you when it comes to cleaning? Are you extreme, like you either want to do all or nothing, like go all the way and get everything done perfectly and get it all done, or not bother at all? Or are you more relaxed and you just are able to just kind of work at stuff, take breaks, and kind of pace yourself and be a little bit more, I don't know, reasonable about it? Let me know in the comments what type of person you are when it comes to that. There we go. Also, let me know in the comments, what are your most key areas of your house that you find are the most important for you to focus on? And whether that's the places where you spend the most time, or the places that matter to you the most, whether they're clean or not. Let me know. Are they the same as mine? Kind of kitchen, bathroom, that kind of thing. Living room, I would say, would be a close second, since we spend so much time there. But let me know, what are your most important areas of your house? And when it comes to spring cleaning, what do you focus on the most? Is it cleaning everything, like cleaning, cleansing, or is it more decluttering, organizing? I feel like for me, it tends to be more cleaning than anything. Some years ago, I went through everything and really deeply decluttered. It was a time when there was a really popular book out about choosing only the things that spark joy, and choosing those and not keeping around other things that don't spark joy. And I took a version of that and kind of went through our whole house, and I have to say, for the most part, that has stuck. So every now and then there will be places where I'm like, okay, things have gotten a little bit out of control here. A little too much has accumulated. I need to go in and really get rid of some things. But it's always very clear to me because I have all of my categories organized in the house, and I know what goes where, and then I'm able to clearly see when I need to get rid of stuff. So I don't feel like decluttering takes up a huge amount of my time always these days. It's going to be more just like maintenance of that system that I put in place. So if you're curious about that, I can talk more about it. It's not minimalism really, it's more just keeping things that serve a purpose and what it brings you joy, really, like I said. And it could be personalized. It doesn't have to be minimalism, but if you like it, it can be. I really liked it. So I feel like most of our house is pretty well still in that system, and so I just maintain it every now and then, which usually just means getting rid of accumulated extra stuff from certain categories. But when it comes to springtime, there will be probably a bit more of that than usual, but mostly what I like to focus on is really the cleaning, the cleansing. So inside, just like wiping everything down, making sure that the things that I don't often get to, again, staying realistic within this season, there's always stuff I don't get to, but as much as I can, getting to like dusting stuff that doesn't get cleaned as often, just all of those extra little things, kind of the things that you suddenly think about when you know that you have company coming over. If you get what I'm saying, more of that kind of stuff that in your day-to-day life you're like, it's not really that important. But when somebody's coming over, then you think, okay, I better get to that. It's been too long. We better address that and clean it. By the way, that is another tip that I have discovered, I guess, on my own, is you not feeling super motivated to get things clean, just schedule to invite somebody over. You'll get things cleaned up. It's just very funny how that works. So that is something that I don't really use that as a tool, but it's true. Whenever I know that I have invited somebody, then it's like, okay, this is happening. Maybe it wasn't before, but now it sure is. in this video, obviously, I'm really tackling the kitchen, wiping everything down, wiping these lovely white cabinets down, the counters, underneath the things that we keep on the counters, did the refrigerator. I'm going to be giving the sinks a really nice, thorough scrubbing to get them nice and polished and clean. And the other areas, like I said, that matter to me are the bathrooms. I'm not showing that in this video. I'm just doing the kitchen in this video. But bathrooms are way up there. They get a lot of maintenance on an ongoing basis, but there are always some extra things I like to do to deep clean those. And then for the rest of the house, it's like extra cleaning the floors, some more mopping than usual, more dusting than usual, looking for different things that kind of get forgotten, like maybe light fixtures that need to be cleaned, different things like that. And then there's always the outside that I always find really satisfying to get to as well. There's so many cobwebs and dead leaves that accumulate, and then cleaning those windows inside and out just always seems to let so much more light through. It's like you kind of forget when it hasn't been done for a little while, and then you clean them and it's like, it's brighter in here. I can see outside better. That's always so nice. So those are the things that I'm going to try to do this spring. I know that there's a lot more that I could do, but those are what I'm going to focus on. And then as far as decluttering, there's always an ongoing process of switching out kids' clothes to the next sizes and the next seasons. I try to keep our kids' clothes pretty minimal because that's a lot easier to keep up with. And I have a lot stored in the garage that are boxes of clothes that they have grown out of, and then the next size can be used by the next kid of the next age as they move along. And so just kind of switching those out, keeping the boxes labeled and as organized as I can, it's always a big process. So those are the things that I'm going to get to. Hopefully, it's my goal anyway. And again, planning in lots of interruptions and time spent putting my kids' needs first, and then also just helping them learn how to help too. So giving them some responsibilities too, giving them jobs, and having them have a part in helping out with all of this too, because that's so important for them as well. So like I said, let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts? What type of a cleaning person are you? Let me know what you're trying to accomplish this spring. But thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!